What is up, everybody? But today, you know, we're not quarantined right now. We're social distancing. That's what we're doing right now. So we're not really hanging out with anybody. So we've just been sitting here reminiscing on our wonderful trip to the Philippines. So we decided, why not do a top 10 most memorable moments in the Philippines? So let's get straight into it.
Yeah. So starting it off with number 10,
Yes.
which was eating fish Filipino style with our bare hands. So we had some downtime before a tour, so we stopped by this cute little restaurant. Me and Gage ordered the fish. They brought it out, and we thought it was just going to be a slice of fish, but it was just a whole entire fish, just skin, eyeballs,
Scales, everything.
It's like they grabbed it out of the water and just like threw it on the plate, but fried it first.
And then we were asking them, we're like, hey, how do you eat this? Because
We didn't know.
and they're like, we didn't know how to. They're like, oh, so you eat it Filipino style. We usually just use our hands and you just grab the meat and eat it. We're like, okay.
They would
that
take
sounds
the
fun.
fork and scrape off the scales and then just grab the meat itself.
I don't think they even scrape off the scales. I didn't do that.
You ate the scales?
No, you just like grab the meat and then
So there's scales with that meat. You just kind of.
What did you do with the scales?
Scaly
I just put them to the side.
Oh.
Yeah.
I just used my fork to scrape it off.
I don't remember what I did, but you just use your fingers, you just grab it and eat it. It was probably the best meal we had the whole time in the Philippines. It was so good. Amazing.
Yeah, it was great. Okay, number 9 of the most memorable. Because, man, how would you do it?
Like a normal person?
Maybe this
I like
is
to
my
hold
normal
mine
person.
out.
Just looks
I
like
like
he's
to be
straining
more-
your pinky.
No, my pinky's chilling, bro. Look at him. Hey, man.
I don't have that kind of control.
Anyways, number 9 was Fireflies. We did a Firefly tour. It was the first time that we actually went and saw fireflies in real life. We grew up and we've lived in California pretty much our whole lives, and there's not a lot of fireflies out here. So they're like,
there is any.
As far as we know, there's none.
from our hostel, we scooted over to this place. Apparently, it's the best viewing spot for fireflies on that island. I think, were we in Bohol? We were in Bohol.
Yeah.
It was in Bohol.
You were in somebody's bowl.
It smelled like a.
Freaking crap. They put us on this big old boat and then drove us out on this river. And we're like, all right, we don't know if we're gonna be able to see them very well, if there's gonna be that many. But as we started going, there were these bushes and trees that were just literally infested with them. It was
lit.
absolutely insane. We got a little bit of footage of it, but not like a ton because
It was dark.
We're like, oh my god, that looks so cool. Take a video, watch the video, and it's just black.
yeah.
It's exactly like taking a picture or video of the moon.
We would pull up right next to the trees and they would stop the boat and turn everything off. And you could literally see them, like they would communicate and their blinks would set each other off. Like they were coordinated, like a roll off. It was so tight. So you'd see the tree and it would literally be like, lights, lights, lights. It was so tight.
So wavy.
We were having a great time. So yeah, it was super, super fun and definitely a great memory.
Number 8, if I'm gonna be like Gage.
How else would you do number 8? Like this?
Bro, you're overcomplicated.
No, guys.
Number 8.
Number 8.
Let me be an individual, dude. I don't need to do everything like you.
No backseat numbering, okay?
I'm older.
Number 8. So the number 8 slot goes to this water slide that was at this party, but then not a lot of people were going because it was raining. But we were there because we're good sports. But anyway, there was a water slide, and it was very sketchy, and people were slapping the water like
Their whole bodies.
with their whole body. Yeah,
Every
full
part
it
of
was
it.
crazy.
Yeah.
It was like they were slapping the water like fish, but they were actually slapping the water like shrimp.
Cue video.
Since we knew the 2 guys who were throwing the party, they gave us a bunch of free drinks, so you know, vibes were high. And then drunk people started going down the slides, and it was just like the most entertaining thing you could possibly imagine at a party when you're tipsy. So people would go down like this 30-foot, 20-foot ramp, and then phew, it was intense.
It was
So intense that we decided not to do it.
We should have done it.
We should have done it.
We just decided to spectate was the safest option.
But one of the guys who co-owned the place. He's an engineer, and he was telling us about how he built the ramp. Most water slides are designed off of ski jumps, but he designed his off of a BMX jump, which incorporates G forces. Most like a ski jump, it's nice and smooth, and then it just goes. But like a BMX motorcycle jump, it like
that
goes up steep, so you experience G forces on that water slide. But we didn't experience those.
You made me really want to go back and go on it.
Me too. We gotta go back. What was your guys' favorite wipeout?
I think the double front flip into the forehead.
Yeah, that one was the one. Honestly,
amazing.
the one. Whenever I watch that footage from that vlog, I go back and watch every single slide twice. I gotta watch one person fall, and then I gotta go back and watch the other person.
Because
Because one guy goes
slides.
and he goes whoa, and like literally back flops so hard. That was probably my favorite.
Another fun aspect of this party was at the end they held a dance battle, which is the perfect thing for a group of drunk young people. I of course entered the battle even though my head wasn't on straight with the drinking and whatnot, but it was still a very fun time. This dude decided to become a stripper and he beat me fair and square.
Yeah, it was a good
Fair
one.
and square.
Fair and square with his awkward body.
Fair and circular, like
Rab
relationships.
wasn't like prepared to take it to the next level because he was like taking off more and more clothes, and then Rab was like, I'm only
not
down
gonna
for
do
a
that.
certain number of clothing items until he stops. So
And you had to dance battle on wet wood floor, so you're kind of limited. So it's kind of like stripping is the only thing you can really do to win. So he saw that before me, and
Took advantage.
it was my complete demise that that happened.
all right, number 7 was Tarsiers. The reason it was pretty freaking cool was, well, at least for me, I didn't really know about Tarsiers until I went to the Philippines. And then they're like, hey, there's these tiny, like, fist-sized monkeys with, like, huge eyes and, like, all this crazy stuff. And so we're, like, definitely down.
Everybody looks at their fist.
No, really, it's like a fist-sized monkey. So we went to their like habitat, and like they're nocturnal, so they're all like sleeping during the day. And it was cool because there's 2 habitats. One we like heard wasn't so nice to the Tarsiers, so we didn't go to that one. We went to the one that like respected them and like gave them enough room, because I guess they need like a lot of space or they'll get claustrophobic and kill themselves.
And
Or
how do they do that?
wasn't they like hold their breath and they they just hold their breath and commit suicide.
Yeah,
So
suicide.
we did not want to contribute to breath holding deaths of tiny cute monkeys. If you haven't seen that vlog, go check it out. We have a whole vlog on it. Boom, check it out. But yeah, it was just super cool to go see these little monkeys in their like natural habitat.
Yeah, their eyes were like grapes inside of a tiny melon.
Their eyes are bigger than their eyes are bigger than their brains.
Yeah.
That means they got tiny little brains, bro.
Their eyes literally take up like this. Like if I was a target, this is how big my eye would be. Yeah.
So side note, when you're traveling, make sure you go find the nicest way to be a tourist so you don't harm the natural environment or critters.
Cruelty free. Do your research.
Yeah.
Crucial.
Or else we're coming for you. The Williams fam's coming for you.
Or else this Tarsier-sized fist is coming for you.
Today's
You know why I gotta.
Anyways, we don't have to fight because everyone's gonna respect the
Yeah,
Tarsiers.
because now that we said that,
All right.
they didn't do it.
Coming in at number 6, we've got the sunsets. So the sunsets in the Philippines were amazing. We ate at a couple restaurants right on the water. The clouds are all lit up, all peachy and amber. Wow. And it just looks so cool. Like the sunsets over the water with all the clouds, it was crazy.
Just one of these every time.
Just goddamn.
We're just sitting there like this for like 30 minutes.
It's like, go off, Mother Nature, go off.
Go off.
Yeah. Ooh.
Killing it.
10 out of 10, recommend to a friend.
Coming in at number 5. Number 5. You know what? I'm sticking to it. Screw you, Rab. Number 5. Coming in at number 5. So we didn't necessarily say that it was all great memories. So it's just top 10 most memorable. It was very memorable that there was a typhoon that took away a solid, 4 days?
At least.
It was like 5 or 6, yeah.
4, 5, or 6
Real
days.
Pain in the bum.
Basically, there was a typhoon, which is different from a monsoon somehow.
Maybe because monsoons are in Mongolia.
Pause while we Google it.
We'll Google
Typhoons are in Thailand.
We were in the Philippines.
This is a typhoon.
So anyways, this typhoon was a real bummer, dude. It was a
doozy.
real drag, man. We basically went out every night and met up with some friends, hung out, went to the bars, and the next morning we would wake up and be like, oh, it's still typhooning. We'd get massages every day, go out to eat, kind of chill. It kind of sucked, but we did make a lot of friends, so we didn't get to go on all the tours that we wanted to go on. But it was just a downpour. It was literally kind of scary. I was like, yeah. I don't know how we're doing here. Like, the water was like that deep at one point when we were walking. And I was like, this is scary. We had to like stop off in a store and like wait it out for like 45 minutes. Something that was kind of fun about going out was after you would go out. So we would leave the bar, we would go to get some food, we go into the spot, and it turns out that that's kind of like the hangout for a bunch of the local ladyboys. Which was very interesting because we don't have tons of ladyboys.
What's a ladyboy?
A ladyboy is someone who looks like a lady, but turns out that they are a boy.
They vary in degrees of caliber.
Yeah.
And where you can't tell to you can definitely tell.
There was some ones where I was like,
Remember?
that's a hot ladyboy, man. Like that, I was like, yo, I think
no, one time we were leaving and I was like, it's like, ooh, damn, that girl's super cute.
I thought so too, but then I realized
It's whoever got the longest like glance. Someone just catches the like, oh, so someone actually gets to like study in and be like, I think that's a dude. But I mean, we're from California, so we're like used to this. Like we grew up on a dance team. We're used to like different levels of sexuality. So we thought we'd be prepped and ready, but we were like actually fooled by some.
What we're not used to in California is actually having them look exactly like Filipino women.
Yeah.
So these ladyboys
trick you.
were sometimes like, you're like, that girl just came and talked to me and I don't know if it's a guy. But then you think, does a girl ever walk up to you and hit on you and you're like, dang it.
No,
Probably not.
Probably not. That's totally a dude thing to do.
But yeah, it was super fun. So we walk into that restaurant spot, and there was a bunch of like ladyboys and other people in there, and they were hanging out. We were talking, and apparently, being a tall white man in the Philippines is very desirable, and so we got a lot of attention when we were eating in that spot. It was a lot of fun.
Especially this guy.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. A couple of them like offered things to me, and it was uncomfortable. Not food. And I took some pictures. I think we could put out the picture.
Yeah, we'll throw up some pictures.
They were honestly so much fun. We hung out with them for like an hour while we were eating our food.
Yeah,
they
were really
super
cool.
funny.
Yeah, it was awesome. So
Once you decline their
their
proposals,
their proposal, and it's tons of fun. But sometimes they ask a lot. And you're like, I just wish they'd stop asking me these questions. I just want to hang out and get to know you.
Just trying to be your friend.
Yeah, I just want to be your friend and eat this food while I'm drunk.
Yeah.
please back up.
Yeah. So it was a lot of fun. Even though there was a typhoon, there was a lot of positive and fun things that came out of it. But yeah, so that's that.
Number 4. So this goes to the times we went snorkeling. We went 2 separate times.
Yes.
And there were 2 very different experiences. The first time we went, it was a sardine tour. So we're all strapped up and ready to go, looking super cool. And then we go out into the water and we're like, wow, like you can see stuff really clearly. This was like glass water to us. So we were super excited, but then with that glass view, you tend to see things that you don't necessarily want to. So this water was like, as I would say, infested with tiny little jellyfishes. Yeah. But they were like super dope looking. Like they had like
Orange lasers
like going through them. Like it would look crazy.
Yeah. Or they'd all be connected. They'd be like form like a weird pod stuck together.
And then a fish would come through and just like, and then just destroy them. It was crazy. You're like, how is that fish not getting electrocuted?
I need to be like that fish.
I need to be like that fish. It was just weird because you're swimming like with all these tiny jellyfishes, and we asked our tour guide like, "Is this okay?" And he's like, "Yeah, we have vinegar back at the spot." And we're like, "So there's no like precautionary is just like pour vinegar on it when you do get stung. It's like inevitable. That's our vibe we got. So we're like, okay, I guess we're getting stung.
Which we did.
Which we did.
Not badly, but
they had vinegar, just like you were saying.
No, and it's just like, you're like, did I get stung? Because my
A little itchy.
my leg feels like a little weird. Didn't hurt, it just felt like kind of weird. You're like, I think I got stung by a jellyfish.
He didn't reassure us at all. We asked him, we're like, yo, like, do these jellyfish sting? And he's like, yeah. They were like, dude.
Wait, no, the problem was with our question. He's like, yes, of course, but we should have said, how poisonous are these jellyfish? Because then he would have been like, not that poisonous, or we're just gonna douse you with vinegar after. And we've been like, okay, just grin and bear it.
And the reason this was so weird for us is because we signed up for a sardine tour, and it turned out being a jellyfish tour because we just saw so many jellyfish. We did see sardines, and that was super cool.
That was super tight.
There was a ton of sardines.
There is, but I didn't watch that much.
I did.
I didn't
I
look
was
at the
scared.
sardines. I
Sure.
was staring at every little jellyfish.
And there's a lot going on. There's like other people snorkeling. There's like these fishing boats that are going
Yeah.
around. Like I actually was like snorkeling and like looked up and like got popped on the head.
Yeah, we're like, Keene, you're bleeding.
And I was
He's like,
what? And I was like, yeah, we should probably get out because sharks. But there's just a lot going on. So you're looking at sardines, you're looking at starfish, you're looking at like a turtle. There's all this stuff going on, and try to be like, okay, but the jellyfish too are here, so let's not freak out. And like,
It was a sensory overload, dude.
Yeah.
I was
Super crazy.
stressed out.
It was cool though, like
Yeah.
the sardines. It was crazy because there's millions. Like you could not see the bottom. You couldn't see it because there was just so many sardines, and they're just swimming everywhere. It's kind of like Finding Nemo when it's just.
it was
swarmed.
exactly like that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
literally, it's so many sardines. It's crazy.
They even made the little like arrow to be like this way to get out. That was dope.
So we saw sardines, we saw 2 turtles, and we saw a bunch of jellyfish of all different shapes.
I
and
saw a
forms.
diaper and some trash. Yeah.
And then there was also a different time that we went snorkeling, but this was not with a tour guide. This was kind of just like, hey, I have these 2 goggles, like, let's go. Just 2 of us. And so Gage and I went out the first time.
In a different part.
This was like a different part of the Philippines. So when we went out to snorkel in this water, we were like all super hyped. And we just go out there, we gotta swim past some boats, and it's like the same depth of water like the whole time for like 200 yards.
Yeah.
And then as you get out there, it starts getting crazier and deeper. And like it was just so cool seeing so many like different colors of coral reefs. There was like pink coral reefs, blue coral reefs, purple, like so many different colors.
The different starfish that were there were insane. There was like
Yeah.
bright yellow,
Yeah.
bright blue, just crazy looking starfish.
It was so cool. And you could see them like walking on the sand, and like you'd like even pick them up, and then they're like thousands of little feet or whatever, are just like hella lit. They're just like
Waving at you like
what's up, dude? You gonna put me down soon? And you're like, maybe. We even saw a puffer fish. It was crazy. Yeah, it was under a rock. It was just like, yo, what the heck?
He's getting ready to puff, bro.
Dude, I'm just getting so fat right now.
he's like,
Yeah. He's like, don't make me huff and
I'll
puff.
do it.
Blow that ass down. We were able to go like 12 feet underneath. We got to this one part, and it got kind of scary because you would go 12 feet underneath, and you just look out, and you're like, wow, I can see so much. It's kind of scary. Like if I were to see a shark, it would be crystal clear, and I would have so far to swim
Even
back.
a big fish would be scary.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I like you're just so out in the open, and you're just here with like Rab, and you really realize when you're out in the water for a long time. Oh no, the light turned off, but it's okay. I'm gonna keep going because I addressed it, so it's okay.
Yeah.
It's fine. You're just in the water for so long, you realize that these fish and everything are so mobile. Because they have such an advantage on you. Like I can't look fast enough and like can't move fast enough. They could screw me up, man.
yeah, we evolved out of that skill set millions of years ago.
Yeah.
Our land muscles are just of no match.
But get that fish on the shore and I'll mess him up, bro. I swear to God.
You fucking break his ankles like, oh.
I'll cross him.
And all he'll have to say is, dude, stop. Come back here.
Alright, it's getting real unvegan now. Number 3 was riding scooters. I mean, at least for me personally, I'd always wanted to ride a scooter. And so like not just like a scooter, like a racer scooter. No.
Like a push.
No.
And not just like a motorized scooter, like a moped. a moped scooter,
Like sit down.
like sit down. You can
Chill.
like lift the back seat and put your stuff in it.
It had a gas tank.
It had a gas tank
That's gas.
and a key.
It's basically a motorcycle.
Basically a motorcycle, but a chill version. So the first time we ever got to ride it was in Philippines. So I just had this moment of like, wow, this is great.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like what happens. You're just like driving through the countryside. There's like green trees everywhere.
Just breathing air that's not Los Angeles is amazing.
It's kind of hard to not just like ride like this. It's like,
A lot of the times I was riding like
It
that.
was
I
like-
found myself sitting there like,
My mouth is so dry.
Yeah.
I'm just smiling.
Yeah.
the price was, you can't beat it. It was $5 a day to rent these mopeds. It was $10 a day to rent. Anyways.
Number 2. Rawr.
Matador!
Number 2 goes to Tara Cliffs.
Ta-ra!
Tarara Bhumi.
It was. Sorry. That's fine.
I was gonna say it if you didn't.
I was thinking it too.
So yeah, the Tarara Bhumi cliffs were crazy. It was crazy from the get-go because we had to wake up at 5 a.m. in order to get onto this hike. We were like, 5 a.m. hike? Sounds crazy, let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so we go out, walking through the town. It's still pitch black.
Super dark.
And we were like, this is sketchy as can be. Let's follow this man into the jungle. If I didn't have all of them with me, I would have been like, no, you're gonna kill me. We enter the jungle and we're like, oh, this is lit. First thing we see is basically like a Shrek swamp, but it's dark, of course. So we're like, ooh, how spooky. Ooh. We're like, this is gonna look way crazier on the way down because we're gonna be able to see it. As soon as we pass that swamp, we begin our ascent up the slippery, sharp lava rocks.
Super steep. We get there, we're like, oh my god. We
Yes.
just have headlamps. We can we can grab on pretty good, but it's slick and it's dark.
And it hurts.
Yeah.
They were pretty hardcore.
Yeah.
Super hardcore. So we probably rock climbed 90% of the whole thing.
Yeah.
In the end, we got this beautiful view.
Wow.
Wow. And it was like amazing. It's straight out of like Avatar Land.
Avatar
And-
Land.
Not the
Whatever
not
Avatar
the,
Land.
not the Airbender.
Not the
The
Airbender.
James Cameron.
After we got back from the hike, I was like, that's probably one of the coolest things I've ever done. It was so fun. Like, I don't care if we came to the Philippines and just did that. I feel like it would have been worth it because it was like that cool of a hike.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
You could definitely say that hike was hardcore.
You're so hardcore.
You're not hardcore. They should live hardcore.
In our number 1 space of the top 10 most memorable
Memories of the Philippines is canyoneering in the number 1 spot.
Number 1.
Yeah. We posted an entire vlog of this. Keene pretty much filmed the whole thing because he was willing to like buy a little bag and like bring his.
The little waterproof thing. We were like, didn't get a GoPro, so like on the way up, I was like, oh, we'll just grab this plastic sleeve thing, and yeah, made it work. Go watch the vlog.
Yeah.
Super dope.
Links right here, maybe.
So basically, we were going through canyons, and each one would have a jump. There were what, 10 jumps?
10 jumps.
I think there's about 10 jumps, ranging from 4 meters.
Which is
Maybe it
like
was 2 meters. It was 2 meters to 12
2
meters.
meters,
2
yeah.
meters is like 6-ish feet.
2 meters is something.
Yeah,
And
it's
12,
like nothing.
12 meters is about 40 feet.
Big.
So it was pretty scary.
Well, what's kind of funny is we didn't really realize that it was gonna be cliff jumping until we got there, and then like we hiked down the canyon. There's like water going down the bottom, and then we're like, oh, this is what they mean by canyoneering. Canyon,
Yeah.
water, got it.
It's just like the hiking thing. You think you're going on a hike and you're going on a rock climbing expedition, just like this. You go.
You could have been like, oh, we're just going hiking. It's like, no, you are jumping off of cliffs into water at progressively higher and higher heights. So for me at least, like I would prefer not to jump off high things.
We hyped him up quite a bit. We're like, bro, you gotta do it.
Yeah.
When are you gonna get this chance again?
So I did the first one. It was really small and easy. But then right after the first one, there's this massive like 18 or 20 feet
Yeah, it was
tall.
It was ridiculous.
Right after the first one. So I was just like, I don't know, dude. But then
It gets
Yeah.
worse and worse.
these guys talked me into it. I don't know how I let them do it, but I did it.
Yeah.
It was terrifying, and I
Fun.
didn't. Yeah, it was fun, and I didn't die, obviously.
Oh my gosh, that was crazy.
My favorite cliff jump was the one where you had to run off of
Yeah,
this
where you-
platform and just jump. So it's not like you commit at the last second. It's like as soon as you begin running, you're committed to throwing your life at that water. So it was like super intense. It was so scary. And I was so happy because I went first on the last jump. So Gage was like, "Hey, Gage, Rab, you trying to go first?" And I was like, "No, I just went first."
Nope.
Funny thing is, it's your turn.
We were all literally standing up there and nobody was going off because everybody was scared.
So
Like,
scary.
everybody was scared. The tour guides are sitting there, they're like, "Guys, go." And we're like, yeah, we're gonna go. We're just, everyone's procrastinating.
Yeah, 5 seconds.
And they start getting like kind of like annoyed. They're like, "Somebody go or else we're moving on." And then everyone's like looking at me and I'm like, so I walk up to the front of it and I'm like, "All right, I'm gonna jump." He's like, no. You have to run. And I was like, "What?" I was like, "Can I just jump so I can see?" He's like, "No."
You have to run.
Yeah. He's like, "You have to run." So I was like, "Man, all right, fine." I go back and I'm just like, yeah. It was just, oh my god, it was so scary.
It's crazy.
I think it was like 8 or 9 meters, which is like 30,
I think that one
35
was
feet.
9.
It was
I think
like
that one was 9 or 10.
third to last.
Yeah.
Go watch the vlog. I mean,
Oh,
the
that's crazy.
footage does do it some justice, but in the moment when you're like looking off the top of this thing, you're like, what? Like every instinct in your body is like, get low and back away slow. But you're like, I'm gonna stand and run. You know, it's like it goes against every natural instinct you've ever had.
Ever.
To jump, to fling yourself sprinting off a cliff.
Fling it.
So when you do, it's quite exhilarating.
Really gets the
And we made-
adrenaline pumping.
Oh yeah.
Really?
But yeah, so that's our number 1 spot. We hope you enjoyed this video. This was super, super fun just to reminisce on all these great memories. But you know the vibes, you know what to do and what not to do. So
Don't subscribe.
we don't want any new subscribies on our
No.
channel.
Don't comment what you thought about the video.
No, don't give suggestions of other
Videos that we could do.
yeah, don't like this video. If you're in quarantine right now or you're social distancing yourself, we got lots of other vlogs to go check out. So go check them out. We appreciate all the support.
Yeah, make sure you're social distancing, guys. Make sure.
A cough.
You spelled my leg. That goes.
That's like a bad move when you're drunk. You're like, oh shit.
Oh, what did I do? Alright, thank you everybody.
Thank you. Until next
Bye.
time.
Peace slide.
Make it all life could be a dream. If I could take you up in paradise like a ghost, if you would tell me